Hello, I just wanted to show you how beautiful the liliums came out, the oriental lilies, and the stock that I purchased exactly 7 days ago. So it's taken 7 days for them to come out in full bloom, and in that time some of the stock are looking a little bit ordinary. If I can just kind of hone in a little bit here, you can see that the stock stems, if I lift this up, okay, so some of the stock stems are a little bit discoloured now, a little bit brown, got a bit of a brownish tinge to them, and they're probably a little bit slimy. Now I have changed this water every 2 days. I've recut the stems on an angle. You can tell that my scissors or my saccatees weren't completely sharp. There should be no frayed edges like that. But yeah, the bunch is held together quite well in saying that. These little tiny things here, so I'll angle the camera correctly, are called stamens. Now you have to be particularly careful with stamens because they stain. They stain your fingers, they stain the flowers, they stain clothes. Pretty much whatever they get on, they will stain. So what a lot of florist shops will do is they'll pull these out, and that's quite simply you just grab them all in one cluster, and you pull them out, and then you hold them in your hand, and then you get rid of them. But if you're not careful, this will stain your clothes. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on my table right now. But you can see how the stamens have damaged the leaf a little as well, and discoloured the leaf. Now in a florist shop, you wouldn't you'd make sure that they wouldn't get to that level because they're not really aesthetically as pretty. So you'd get those stamens, as soon as they started opening up, as soon as the lily bloom started opening up, you'd pull those stamens out. The negative effect of pulling the stamens out is that your flowers won't last as long. They're there to protect the flower. Yeah, so just keep that in mind, that if you've got them at home and you'd like them to stay in bloom for a little bit longer, then leave your stamens alone. Just make sure wherever you've got it that you have it on a table where you can wipe the residue off, because they do start dropping. Now what I could do with this bunch now as well, just to keep it going a little bit longer, is I would plan on keeping the stamens in there. I like the stamens, but I'm also aware that I don't really have anything around that will affect the stain on the stamens falling. So what I will do now is to make this bunch last a little bit longer is I will strip all the greenery off, and you can see that the greenery is a little bit ordinary at this time. So all of the nutrients of what's left in the nutrients in this flower stem, you really want to be positioned in the flower head itself, so that the flower head stays, it's dying obviously, it's been cut from its main source supply from the plant. But you can extend the shelf life. So if you trim all these leaves off, all these outer leaves, and it will look a bit bare. I like the greenery through the bunch. But if you trim all these off, you'll probably get another 3 or 4 days out of your stems. Now liliums do last quite well. And what you can do is, if you notice that one is particularly not looking so good, like this one here, so you can tell that it kind of goes wrinkly and old looking. Okay, that means it's about to die. So this, in another couple of days, that'll probably lose this whole leaf. And what I may do just to extend the other, if it's got other flowers on its stem, which that one doesn't anyway, so I might just leave that one. If I have another one, say it's looking a little bit dismal, like this one here, it's starting to lose its well-formed shape. That'll probably drop off in a couple of days. I might actually take that flower off because it's got another 1, 2, 3 flowers on the stem. So you can see one here, perfect example, starting to drop like that, and that's just actually just almost just fallen off. So I'll just pull that off there. And what I'll probably do is see how it's only got 3 or 4 more petals. I'll probably just take the life of that poor little flower and chop it off. So I'll get some scissors and I'll cut that off, and that'll extend the life for these other 2 flowers and make them last probably for another 4 to 5 days. So I hope that gives you a little bit more explanation and the beauty of these beautiful liliums, oriental lilies, opening up and looking just fabulous. And the smell through the house was just amazing. The stock will die before the liliums, that's just given, but they're just so beautiful. Just such a beautiful, and the smell through the house this week has just been lovely.